the theory of everything. You've either heard it as the movie title about the life of Stephen Hawking, or amongst research within the cavernous universe of science. Now, the basis of the theory of everything is to find a complete and inclusive theory that can describe our universe at the most basic level with the inclusion of quantum gravity. Well, it's simple yet slightly complicated, and that's where string theory comes into play. Now, what is string theory and what is it even trying to prove? Well, string theory says that all objects in our universe are composed of vibrating filaments, strings, and membranes, brains of energy. As of right now, there is 5 versions of string theory that when linked together form what is referred to as M theory. And all this is saying is that there is 5 different ways to approach / explain how string theory can be proven to be the so-called missing link in the theory of everything. And that missing link is scientists trying to connect the dots between general relativity, gravity, and quantum physics. But for now, let's focus on those strings. For the longest time, scientists believed that atoms were the fundamental particle that made up all matter in the universe. Now we know that atoms are composed of a nucleus made up of protons and neutrons with a constant orbit of electrons. However, we can break down the nucleus even smaller. Each proton and neutron are composed of 3 quarks. Within each quark is a vibrating oscillating string at which each quark has a different vibrational frequency. In string theory, the initial string within a quark contains fragments of energy that exist on a one-dimensional plane, length. If an object only has length, it must be infinitely thin. Therefore, it must be thought of as a line segment. Scientists chose strings over line segments because strings are flexible and can be contorted in almost infinite ways, thus creating a nearly infinite spectrum of vibrational modes or tones within each string. The mass variation of the vibrational strings within one string are understood to represent the other 6 dimensions all condensed and curled up within their respective string. To all the skeptics towards string theory, mathematics stepped up to the plate. This math required 6 additional dimensions, visible only to the little strings. Just think of how a power line looks like a one-dimensional line to birds flying far overhead, but a 3-dimensional cylinder to an ant crawling on the wire. This adds up to a total of 10 dimensions of space, while maintaining only 1 dimension of time, which is what we call the superstring theory. The whole purpose of understanding string theory and what it's all about is to understand what everything in our universe and our world is made up of. String theory allows us to dig deeper in what the genetic makeup of even the most basic matter in our universe is comprised of. However unobservable to the naked eye or even an extremely expensive microscope, we can gain a better understanding of what we are all made up of: strings.